What up, it's Dane. In this video I'm going to be telling you how to avoid plateaus and how to keep progressing and gain more muscle mass, right? So it's just going to be probably the one or two main factors that you need to be doing, and it's probably will result in 80% of your progression avoiding plateaus, right? So before we get into the video though, I'd appreciate if you follow me on all social media platforms. Have a look on my website, there's free stuff for you, no email address, no nothing, just open up the PDF report and subscribe to the channel to help me grow. But besides that, let's get straight into the video. So how to avoid plateaus, and this happens all the time to everyone in the world. Everyone hits a plateau in fat loss and muscle gain. So this means at home when you're dieting and in the gym when you're training. So the first main aspect I would say is definitely variation. Most certainly, if you're doing the same routine, the same exercises like for a whole year, that's a really extreme example actually, probably for 4 months, I'm probably guaranteeing you're going to plateau at some point, especially if you're not switching exercises up, the sets and reps, or you're not varying anything, right? You're doing the same shit day in day out. You're definitely going to hit a plateau that way. In fact, that is actually the definition of the plateau. You're doing the same thing, you're not applying progressive overload, and of course you need to be adding more weight onto the bar to gain more muscle mass, as I say in almost every single one of my videos, just to emphasize this. I say anyway, how do I use variation, right? So you can use it in a lot of ways. Probably the main variation I would use is exercise and changing your split routine, or doesn't need to be a split routine, just your routine. So one thing that I personally do, for example, is I do pull push legs. You probably know this already if you've been watching the channel. I do mainly 2 compound exercises first as my powerlifting portion of the workout, and then I move on to my bodybuilding portion of the workout, right? So I don't change too many bodybuilding parts of my workout, and if I do, I don't really even track it, because like it's just more isolation, hitting muscles from different angles, which is also very important if you want to maximize hypertrophy, right? If you want to maximize it. If your goal is more strength, then you might not really want to hit your muscles in different angles, but I'm pretty sure you're watching this to maximize your hypertrophy. If not, then I don't know. I don't know why you're watching it. So anyway, variation is very important, and let me use my example again. I do, for example, dumbbell shoulder press. Once I just can't add any more weight or reps, and I plateaued on dumbbell shoulder press after a week or 2, then I moved to standing military press. So I'm still hitting the shoulders, it's still compound movement, but I'm just changing the variation. Another variation you can use, just throwing out some examples here, and it's very simple. For squats, you just concentrate on back squat, and then after a few months, if you plateau on the back squat, you go to front squat, and you just keep doing that, keep using different variations. Then, after a couple of months, if you plateau on that, you go to leg press, then you go back to back squat. You know what I'm trying to say, right? So always switching it up. Variation is very important to avoid plateaus, and especially to apply progressive overload. It always happens to everyone, and it's just a known fact, right? So I said I'll talk about 2 factors. The first factor is variation, and let's think of another really important. The second factor to avoid plateaus is probably, it kind of leads into variation, but it doesn't. Basically, I'd say, and like I always say, I don't plan these videos, I just ball it off my head. So I'm giving you the real knowledge that I really have. So the second one is, I'd say, probably tracking your progress, right? So if you're not tracking, if you're not writing down your personal records, what you did that workout, you don't know if you're even regressing or progressing. Like, you don't know what you're doing, and most likely you'll plateau, because psychologically, if you're not tracking anything, you don't know what you lifted the workout before. You're just going to say, okay, these dumbbells look good, let me pick them up, I feel like this today. Instead of, okay, diary, I did 38 kg double shoulder press, okay, today I'll try 40 kg double shoulder press. Just examples like that, right? So tracking it was very important to avoid plateaus, because you probably won't even be realizing you're doing the same shit over and over again. You don't always need to be writing everything down, as long as you know in your head, but I'll personally recommend writing it down, right? So variation and track your progress is very important to avoid plateaus. And one thing actually I need to mention is probably the third step, and like I said, it just comes to my head, I don't plan this, is recovery, right? So if you don't know already, sleep and food is very important for recovery. If you're not eating enough, it's going to be hard to progress in your strength training. But of course, if you want to maximize fat loss, then eating a lot is not your optimal goal. So, but we talk about muscle gain here, so if you want to maximize recovery, you need to be eating a lot on a consistent basis in a surplus, and you need to be sleeping at least 8 to 9 hours a night, or probably minimum 7. It depends on your body, but you know when you feel tired. Like, I can't tell you. 6 hours of sleep is probably not going to be enough. And the reason I say sleep is so important in a lot of these videos is because that's when you recover mostly, and that's where the food comes in, right? If you're not eating enough but you're sleeping enough, it's still not enough. You need to be eating, giving your body the nutrients to repair muscle tissue and all sorts of stuff. And then sleep, that's where you recover the most. And one really important thing is that's when like testosterone is produced the most, right? So when you don't sleep a lot, testosterone levels are real low, and you'll know about it when you wake up the next morning, because you'll be able to have a wee by standing up, right? And that doesn't happen. You can't have a wee by standing up if your testosterone is high. You have to sit down. If you kind of know, I'm trying to tell you there. So anyway, yeah, those are the 3 main factors: variation, tracking, and I'd say good recovery sleep. That's how you're going to avoid plateaus. But like I said, the main important thing is not to do the same shit over and over again. So as anyways, I always say as anyways or anyways, I don't know why. So anyway, no, I said it again. Make sure to follow me on all social media platforms. I really appreciate that. Help me grow, help support me. But it's not only just about me. I'll probably guarantee you're gonna find some useful content on most of my social media platforms. I'm probably most active on YouTube. I'm not so active on Facebook and all the other social media platforms at the moment. But yeah, make sure if you want me to upload more Snapchats. I haven't even been using my fitness Snapchat lately or recently. In fact, at all really, because no one's really following me. So what's the point? But anyway, yeah, I'd appreciate if you follow me on all those shit, and I guarantee you'll find some useful information, especially on my website. There's free intermittent fasting report on how to do it and how I do it. It's basically intermittent fasting. I don't want to get too involved, but it's basically just offering you the chance to go like lose fat without actually trying that much. Like, I've been bulking, man, and I've been doing intermittent fasting, and it's impossible for me to eat like a lot. I've got my 6-pack back again. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because I don't eat enough. But intermittent fasting machine. I've also got other step-by-step plans for fat loss. If you're very basically new to fat loss, it'll tell you how to calculate calorie maintenance, all those kind of good stuff. So anyway, yeah, that's all my, I think we get advertising over. So as always, stay positive, stay smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.